So that was a real fun aspect of these figures. As I'm playing with them, I should be doing the video, not playing with these darn things. Hey brother, I'm not trying to sound like Hulk Hogan. I'm actually saying hi to my brother because this is a video to explain his Christmas gift this year. A little bit of background first. Commandrons were a McDonald's toy line in 1985 done by Tomy Inc. of Japan. Tomy is well known by Transformers fans because they merged with Takara in 2005. Now, Takara Tomy has been a big influence on Transformers in partnership with Hasbro, as many Transformers fans are already aware. These Commandrons were some of our favorite toys when we were just little guys. Yes, we are that old. So I thought I would buy all four as a Christmas present. I was lucky enough to get all four mint in box, as well as a few out of box. Now, my brother knew I liked to paint bots, and I remembered him mentioning that I should customize some of these old toys into Transformers. Well, this is the first Commandron I have customized, and it's into Sideswipe. Basically, this was a passing thought by my brother, and I simply couldn't get it out of my mind. It kind of stuck with me. So I decided to do the customizing. First, we should take a look at the packaging. This is a Canadian version. The American version was on a bubble pack back in those days. You'll notice that because this is Canadian, you not only have the English, you have the bilingual side, which is in French. And that kind of shows that it's Canadian. You can see it's definitely a McDonald's product from way back. But again, you know, it is Tomy, which right now would make you think that it was a licensed Transformers product. But at that time, Tomy was just a toy company, not really involved with Transformers. Now, I'm sure you can hear that I am Canadian, and that's kind of the cool part of grabbing this set. My brother and I are Canadian. You could probably hear it in my accent. I know that nobody wants to have a Canadian accent, but it's worth having, if only for good health care, if that makes any sense. I'll quickly show you all four of these guys. I grabbed them, like I said, all mint and packaged. That is Motron in the back. You have Solerdin, I think that's how you'd say it. You also have Commander Magna. And last but definitely not least, the oddest of the bunch, you have Velocitor. So these are the boxed items, and this one, like I said, has a mint in box version of Motron inside. So that was the main gift, but like I said, I wanted to do customization based off of my brother's idea. They are motorized for both driving and walking. All you do is pull them back, and they do their trick. I'll get to the walking bit in just a moment, but I wanted to focus on Sideswipe, for a moment. Sideswipe was a Lamborghini, and oddly enough, this Commandron was based off of a racing Porsche of the time. My brother was a Countach guy at a young age. As many people who liked European sports cars at the time chose sides between Porsche and Lamborghini. They were clearly the most popular of racing cars at the time, or sports cars. So I hope my brother can get past that and enjoy the gift as it stands. There wasn't much work to do aside from paint in his alt mode. A bit of the carving and sanding on his spoiler was done. You can see the slight differences there. It was done just to imitate a central mounted spoiler of the Countach at the time. I'll kind of display that by bringing this out and just showing you my masterpiece. You can see that the spoiler on the Countach of the time didn't mount on the outside, so I just tried to mimic that a bit. There's obviously only so much you could do with a little toy like this, but you could see what I was going for with the look. Obviously the bright red and the silver rims, the big Autobot symbol on the front. I basically was trying to make this Porsche look a little more like a Countach of the time. On a side note, I hope my brother doesn't just call me and say, why didn't I just send him a masterpiece Sideswipe? Because he might do something like that. But let's move on. Let's transform these guys. They're a simple transformation. All you do is pull out the arms, pull out the hands, and flip the head forward. And you have a Commandron. Pretty simple. I'll also transform Sideswipe here. Obviously, I've done some customizing, so there's some mild differences. But there you have Motron and Sideswipe. In robot mode, a little more work was required. I carved and glued in a new head and hands, as well as painted most of the figure. Let's do the walking part of the figure. Now, to make them walk, all you do is pull back his usual motor here. I'm just doing that by thumb to get them walking. Quicker and easier way, obviously, would be to pull him back in his alt mode, retransform him, and set him on his way. I know it ain't much in 2014, but man, that was cool way back in '85. Still very fun for sure. Again, I gotta stop playing with these guys and just review them. But some of the imperfections, and also a warning to other customizers, is that I did mess up a couple things. Unfortunately, I used a not so clean working space on my last clear coat of this guy, and as I sprayed, I had some dust shoot up, and you could see a bit of improper texture there on the left side of the figure. You could even most likely see in the video, just I'll see if we can catch that in the video. It might be hard to grab on the camera here. But there's just some little flecks that shouldn't be there. So please clean your workspace before you do your painting. If anyone's going to customize, it's an unfortunate thing, and my brother will probably notice them. He's a stickler when it comes to those things. He's quick to notice defaults, and because of this, well, especially because of the Christmas deadline, I can't resand and repaint him. Unfortunately, this guy is shipping tomorrow, so this is what you're getting. I know it's not perfect, but you could probably see on most of the figure where it is right near perfect. And again, that's a Canadian term. Sorry to sound so very Canadian. As far as customizing this part of the robot, it was mainly just carving in some hands, which you can see there. And obviously a new head sculpt. I basically took a junker headpiece of an old G1 Sideswipe and did some carving, glued her in there. That's where you get his difference. And the other little difference, and I know it's pretty iconic for him to have an Autobot symbol on his chest, but I think it's a little more iconic to have it on the hood, so I went with the Autobot symbol on his hood, and I did a rub symbol for his chest. You can see that Autobot symbol right in the chest. It also covers an inconvenient screw hole there, but I think it just adds a little more fun to the bot to be able to have a rub symbol in something that should never have a rub symbol, so that's kind of fun. Let's take a little look at the packaging that I made for it. All I simply did was take a case. This case was for tax, about 150 of these things. I'm sure you're aware of them. I took one of those cases and I basically cut some foam just to fit. So I'm going to put Sideswipe in there, and I just to have a cover on the top, just something interesting. I got an action card from the 80s. You can clearly see that is Sideswipe and Jazz on the front. The fun thing about it is, once you open her up, it calls them Hound and Gears. So another fun little thing about the 80s and its inconsistencies. So we'll move that aside. I'll do a quick size comparison just so you see where this guy is. Not that anybody will take this customization over a Generation 1 bot, but here he is. And let me just move up the camera a touch here. Here's with the G1 Ironhide that I have. So you can see just a quick size comparison if you're interested on the size of these guys. I'm sure a lot of people either have a G1 Ironhide or a G1 Ratchet, which are basically the exact same mold. Let's get Ironhide out of here. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you love the gifts. I will most likely be wrapping them in a dull brown craft paper, while the rest of the family's gifts will be in nice wrapping with bows and everything. This is basically just to mess with you a little. I can't be too nice to my brother, but I really do hope he enjoys the silly little idea that he had that ended up being his Christmas present. So Merry Christmas, brother, and my beautiful sister-in-law, and the two most amazing little ones ever. If you could ever see them, they're just amazing. Just a great little family. I will not mention their names in case they are embarrassed to have a grown man who plays with toys as a family member. So let's just leave the names out of it. I'm sorry you all didn't get a video, but I didn't have to paint the other gifts. So Dan, you're the lucky one with a video. Merry Christmas. Now transformation is very simple. That wasn't supposed to be up.